Hey everyone, it's Sharon from Sharon at Sea.
And Jamie from Sharon at Sea, and we are here to talk about beaches today.
That's right.
We're always looking for subscriber-inspired topics.
Vlogs, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's like a tongue twister. Subscriber-inspired. And one of the questions, usually we focus on one specific person and their question, but we get a lot of questions about beaches. What are great beaches to go to? What are our favorite beaches and locations?
That's
and we've
right.
been lucky enough to visit a bunch of them. And so we picked out a couple. We dug deep into the archives of Sharon at Sea video and photo footage. And so we're going to share a little bit about some of the places we've had great experiences at.
All right. And, we've had questions about, I guess, the Mexican Riviera, the Eastern and the Western Caribbean.
Yes. All right, Mexican Riviera. We'll just start on that one really quick.
Start with that.
There's not a lot of options. When you go to Mazatlan, has the beach along the Gold Zone.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called? And Puerto Vallarta. I don't know that there's a lot of hot beach destinations there. Maybe some good places to party.
There's some nice beaches, but they're just, I guess, they just don't fall under our favorites, I guess.
And probably the nicest beach itself would be in Cabo. When you tender in and you're in the marina area near the port and the beach there, it's a great view of the arches out in the water, and you see your ship sitting out there, and it's awesome. But the only bad thing is lately, I think, in Cabo, there's so many vendors on the beach.
Yeah, Madonna Beach.
Yeah, Madonna Beach, they just beat the heck out of you trying to sell you everything from chiclets to, I don't know, hats made of coconuts. I mean, it's crazy out there. And it really takes a little bit away from the experience. So there's decent places to go in the Mexican Riviera, but we're going to pull a few out from the Eastern and Western today and
probably,
recommend them.
I guess, probably several years ago, Madonna Beach probably would have been in one of our favorites.
Sure.
But over the years, it just isn't anymore. It's just.
So on a side note, if you're heading to Cabo and you can get down the beach a little, maybe part of a resort or somewhere where the beach is a little more private, might be your best bet for getting a relaxing beach day. If you just want to party and get crazy, then by all means, you can do it there and have a great time. So just a little, that's a side tip during our beach tips.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so let's get started on what are some of our top favorite picks.
So if you're going to St. Thomas, there's one spot that we might recommend that we had a great day at.
Yeah, and that is Coki Beach.
Coki Beach.
And it is on the north side of the island, adjacent to Coral World.
Yes, and that was kind of neat because when we went there, we spent the day. First half of the day was at Coral World. They all kinds of like sea lions, and there was swimming with sharks there, and lots of sea life, and great place to walk around, learn a lot about the sea creatures, so to speak, and so that was neat.
They offer diving, a lot of diving classes, all kinds of things you can.
Some cool stuff.
Partake in there.
And then we got to go over to Coki Beach, which is adjacent, like Sharon said, and it was just a beautiful beach, calm water, beautiful view. The sand was great, the service was great. We enjoyed beverages. They had great food there. It's a local place. You'll find a lot of locals there, and sometimes that'll say a lot about a spot if the locals actually go there. So it's not just the tourists.
And you will see, we did see some vendors there. There were a few vendors selling things, but not crazy. Like it wasn't annoying crazy. Just a few here and there.
Mm-hmm. And I think you can get there pretty easy from the ship or from the port.
Right. And it is, you can take a taxi there for $10 per person each way. Or they do have a local bus that runs there, which you can grab for $2 per person.
Yeah,
each way.
If you're feeling
now I will say
adventurous, you can get on the local bus.
I will say if you're a brand new cruiser, this is your first cruise, I would probably not recommend you take the local bus. But if you've been cruising a while and feel comfortable doing that, and find out the information, the bus route beforehand, then hey, go for it.
Yeah,
it's perfectly safe.
Yeah, just got to watch that because you get on that local transportation somewhere and you end up in the wrong place, and then you get yourself in some trouble.
Just do your research on where you're going.
All right, so so we had a great time at Coki Beach, a great little local spot with all the amenities, small, cozy, and I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, beautiful water, calm seas.
All
There
right.
you go, Coki Beach. All right, now here is one of Jamie's favorites.
All right, so again, staying with the St. Thomas theme, because it's such a popular place and so many people go there. One of my favorite spots was not necessarily on St. Thomas, but an island right next door, St. John. And over there they have Trunk Bay Beach, which was a place that I loved. Been there twice. Can't wait to get back there again. And getting there is about, what do you think? It took about 30 minutes or so on a little boat ride to get from St. Thomas to St. John. And it's something where you can book it through the cruise. A lot of cruise lines have excursions that are going to go there.
And then they'll pick you up actually right by the cruise ship. You'll just kind of walk over to another boat, a smaller little boat, and hop on. And it takes you
right on the
over
pier.
there.
So that's pretty awesome. So I think the first time we went, we did a cruise excursion over there. And then the next time we pulled the trigger on going our own and getting there, through our own research and such.
And you can save a little bit of money. Maybe I'll save about $25 or so.
Oh yeah, on your own. You always save a little money that way.
But it's an amazing beach. It's beautiful. They offer, they have food there. They offer some I guess they have little showers. They have, what else? They have little shops.
Oh yeah, they have all the amenities there, and it's a little more secluded because you do have to, go, you got to make an effort to get there.
Yeah.
You can't just hop in a taxi and get there. You do have to jump from one island to the other, and a lot of folks won't do that. But
it doesn't seem to get very crowded, and,
no.
and it's known for its snorkeling. It has amazing snorkeling there. That's what most people go there for, and it's just the water.
Yeah, that's the thing I love. They have a really neat underwater trail, I guess you could call it. I'm sure there's some kind of technical name for it, or who built it, or who sponsors it there. But they have that underwater trail. And you can snorkel and follow along with that, and it's got information that you can read underneath, under the water. Super cool stuff over there.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to tell you a little bit. If you want to venture out and go on your own, I'm just going to kind of give you some details on how to do it. But once again, do a little more research and make sure you have it all down so you get there safely. All right, and to get there on your own, you are going to take a taxi outside the cruise terminal over to Red Hook Ferry Terminal. And all the information on their schedules, I will link below on their website. You can find out their schedule, pricing, and everything, and how to get over there.
Yeah, so the place to catch the ferry, it's just outside the port. You might, it's a couple minutes just to grab a taxi to go over there.
Right. And then it will take you over there, the ferry, to Cruise Bay over in St. John's. And once you arrive there, then there will also be you can take a taxi down to Trunk Bay Beach, and it is $4 then to get into Trunk Bay Beach for the day.
Yes.
So, and each one of these steps has a little bit of price attached, but it's not that much, and it all comes out, like I said, about $25 less than if you purchased it through the cruise line.
And when you do take that ferry ride, make sure you have your camera ready, because you're going to pass by the oceanfront homes of some major multi-million-dollar actors, actresses, and stuff like that. And if you have a guide talking about it, they'll be able to point out some homes of, I don't know, I think there was the Madonna and Sylvester Stallone, and who knows who else has these houses out there. So that was pretty neat too.
Yeah, so it's a nice scenic ride over
there
as well.
Take the challenge, get over to St. John's, and you'll have an awesome day at Trunk Bay Beach.
That's right. And I will link the ferry website below here.
That's great.
I will
Put some
link
of that information
in the comments below here, so that you will, in the description below, so you can find out all the information you need on your own if you choose to go there.
And so we talked about a couple of beaches here in St. Thomas, and one beach that we left out that's really one of the more popular ones is Magens Beach.
Magens Bay Beach.
Magens Bay Beach. That's one of the biggest named beaches around.
And when you take an island tour and you're sitting up on top of the hill there and you look down on it, it looks like the most amazing place ever. And we have been wanting to go there. We kept saying, we got to go there. It's supposed to be one of the best beaches. And we finally made it there a couple of years ago, and
it was pretty mediocre.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. And
it's
I don't
not on our favorite list of favorites.
I don't want to take it away from anyone who's gonna go. I mean, it's a great place. You go see it. You got to go there once. Have your own experience there. But for us and for what we like about the beach, the people, the amenities, how crowded it was, the service you get, and stuff like that, it just didn't hit on all cylinders for us.
We didn't care for the service, and personally, I felt like some of the service was slightly rude. You know? But that could have just been our day. But I'm just saying, we just personally did not have a great experience there.
Yeah, and we're not any high end. I mean, you just be nice to us and get us a drink
nice
and a little small talk, and everything's gonna go real well. So for us to say that the service wasn't awesome, I mean, that's saying something. So anyway, but those two beaches, Trunk Bay Beach, and Coki Beach, they were winners for us. So if you're going to St. Thomas, check those places out.
Yeah,
and let's see what the next one is going to be.
All right, another great place. This is actually, I don't think it's Jamie's favorite place, but it is my probably favorite island out of all the Caribbean islands, and that is Barbados. We have been there 3 times, I think, and every time has been amazing.
Yes.
One beach that we went to one of the times was Carlisle Bay Beach there, and it's really close to the cruise terminal.
Yeah, I mean, you could hoof it, and you could walk it if you wanted to.
I think we took a cab though when we went. But there's a cool place there called the Boatyard. It's like a restaurant and Sharky's Bar. It's just kind of a cool place, a little bit of a party hangout, place. But it was pretty cool. Anyways, they have the water in Barbados is amazing. Actually, I don't think you could go wrong at any of the beaches there. But the one thing I will say about Barbados is the waters are not as calm as some of the other cruise ports. They are a little choppy.
Little wave action
some
going
waves
on there.
going on. But the water is clear, crystal clear. It's amazing. The white sandy beaches, and I feel like I'm just in paradise. I love it. I love it.
And that's one of those ones we had to dig pretty deep to pull some of that information out of there.
But that's a great location, especially if you have kids and you want to stay kind of close. Check out look up, Google search the Boatyard or Carlisle Bay Beach there. Now I will say, like I said, the choppy water, it is a little choppy, so it may not be the best for like smaller children, like little kids, but more older kids, because they do have the inflatables in the water as well. They do have those, so the older kids kind of like to hang out on those as well.
Oh
yeah. So there you go.
All right, good stuff. So that was it. Carlisle Bay Beach, right near the cruise port, was awesome.
In Barbados. Another great beach we kind of ran across in our travels in St. Lucia.
It's from St. Lucia. We'd only been there once years ago. And as we were kind of digging through all our information, saying where'd we go, that was awesome. One place called Reduit Beach. If you're looking it up, I think it's Reduit Beach in St. Lucia. We went there for the day. I had a great time. The beach was gorgeous. Again, white sand, calmer waters. One thing I really liked that made it real pretty, as you're looking out into the ocean, there are a lot of sailboats, lots of people that sail into the area. So, some high-end boats and things, and they're all kind of anchored out there where they park the boat, I guess, for lack of a better term, and they take a smaller little dinghy or whatever from the boat and hop onto land. And so that made it really pretty. It wasn't overdone or anything.
A lot of picture ops there.
Very picturesque. So great beach, great water. And then adjacent to that beach was a restaurant called Spinnaker's, which was awesome. We had a great meal there and great service there and stuff like that. And what else about that place that I love?
It's just an overall great day for the family. I mean, you can take kids of all ages there. Like Jamie said, the waters are calm there. You'll see kids playing down by the water and the sand, making sand castles, and it's just beautiful. It's not really overly busy. You know, you don't see the vendors there so much, or not when we went, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just it's just a great day.
Yeah, and all these places, you know, other things that we like are, you know, you can go, you get the beach chair, you get an umbrella if you need. They'll come out and you know, you get service at your chair, so you know you can be laying there and they'll come out and they'll bring you the drinks and your food and stuff like that, or you can go up near the bar and get out of the sun and get in the shade and grab a table. You know, and that's some of the stuff that we like, where you know we can lay out there and bake for a while on the sand, and then once we're you know well done, we can then go and cool off with a tasty treat up in some shade. So
yeah, so there you go. That's another one of our favorite little spots.
Reduit Beach.
Reduit Beach.
And go check out the Spinnakers.
Another favorite spot we really loved, and it's just beautiful.
It's almost unfair to try to compare other beaches to this place.
Right, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's a regular, I guess it's kind of a man-made, it's more like just a...
It is. You know how a lot of the cruise lines have their own kind of private islands?
Yeah.
The one that we went to was
through Carnival.
It's
the Carnival cruise line, or other cruise lines owned by Carnival go here.
Yes.
And that's Half Moon Cay.
Oh, yeah.
This place is amazing.
Half Moon Cay.
It's like 2.5 miles of like white sandy beaches. It's got turquoise waters. It's just amazing. You can actually they're really calm, no waves. You can look down and the water is so clear. You can see all these little white fish just like swimming all around you. Like it's amazing.
Yes.
There is they have, you know, the lounge chairs, the free lounge chairs. There's big colorful cabanas that you can rent there for the day. They have horseback riding on the beach if you want to partake in that.
I mean, the neat thing about it is it's basically kind of uninhabited. I mean, there may be a few people that live and stay, you know, in that area, but otherwise, every time Carnival or the cruise that you're on goes there, it's a tender situation. So they basically anchor out in the water. You take tender boats, and the first couple of tender boats is Carnival or the ship's employees and all the people bringing all the food, the drinks. They're bringing everything onto the island.
Right.
So they're basically stocking up the island for 1 day of adventure for all the people. And at this particular place, you can use your sail and sign card to purchase things. So so you don't have to worry about bringing cash or anything. You're basically just charging it to your room while you're out here at the beach on the island. So
the cruise ship.
And it was just amazing. They have all the amenities of any beach that you'd want to go to. They have like a little kids play area with a one of those things that like spray up and a little slide. Oh yeah, a little kids water slide.
Yeah, they have the big tubes that you can put around and kind of float out in and things out in the water. What else? They had all kinds of things down at the opposite. The playground's kind of to one end, and then actually if you go farther to the other end, it's a little more, I guess I'd say, quieter, you know.
Yeah, there's little excursions you can do. I think there's some horseback riding you can get involved in and stuff while you're there if you want to spend a couple extra bucks to do that. But the beach itself is just amazing, fantastic, relaxing.
When you get off the ship too, they have the food is complimentary, kind of like when you're on the ship too. They have a complimentary barbecue set up there, so you don't have to purchase your food. You know, just your drinks. Although they do have a lobster shack, which I think is an additional. We didn't go there, but I think it's an additional fee.
I feel like you didn't tell me about that, so that I wouldn't go there and spend money.
I know. Well, we were so caught up in the water.
Now. Lobster shack. I missed out on that. Thank you, Sharon.
I know. Sorry. Anyways, but it's just a great place. I would highly recommend this if you have children, especially smaller children. It's a great place just to hang out and spend the day. Very safe, clean.
Yes.
It's great. And here's my little tip. Okay. When you're getting off, bring your own bottled water from the ship if you want to save a few dollars, because the bottled water does cost you more on Half Moon Cay than it does on the ship, which is kind of odd, but it does.
They're making their money.
So, and you know, also, you know, you can bring a couple of drinks or beer with you or whatever along, you know, save a few dollars from the ship, too, you know, if you want.
Bring your little BYOB, bring your own booze. Yeah. And also, I have a tip for that island as well. Make sure that you get in line a little bit early to get back on the ship.
Yeah,
because when you're talking about 1,500 people leaving an island all at one time to get on the tender boat back on the ship because the day has ended, That is a long line, it is brutal.
It's not so bad going, but coming back is
going there's a piece
bad.
of cake. But getting in line, I mean, you could literally be sitting in that line for like an hour, getting back. So we learned that the hard way.
Right, and getting off. Like if you happen to be like platinum or diamond or anything, you actually can get off first, but that doesn't apply going back. So you still have to wait in the long lines going back.
So there you go. So we're going to wrap it up with our one last highly recommended beach. And I'm not even sure if you can call it a beach. It's kind of its own island type of a deal. But if you go to Honduras on the island of Roatan, am I saying that right? Honduras on the island of Roatan? Okay. I get confused sometimes on these islands. You can make your way over to a little place called Little French Cay. All right, there's French Cay, and then right next to it is a small little island, Little French Cay.
Now there's Big French Cay, which is usually an excursion through the cruise lines, and then this is Little French Cay, which is not an excursion through the cruise lines.
Yes, it's just its own little place. Yeah. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, tell them how we got there. How does that work?
Paradise. Okay, so you can book it by going on their website at littlefrenchcay.com, and I will link that below as well. And you just basically let them know you're coming. You kind of sign up, to go. You're on the list. When you get off the ship, there will be someone there to take you over and they will take you by taxi.
Transportation provided?
To drive you to get the little ferry that takes you over. And so once you go over there at the little terminal thing, the ferry terminal, I guess you might call it, that's where you would actually pay. You don't pay online when you book it. You just reserve it. And you would pay at that point, and then you would get on a little boat and take probably like a 5-minute little just across the
It's almost like a big
island.
Pontoon boat. I mean, it's nothing major.
You can actually see it from where you're going. That's
so it's it's nothing dramatic or anything that you have to worry about. But and on a side note,
that over there.
In Honduras is a pretty unique place where none of the vendors can come into the port area. So that's a spot where you'll actually walk out of the port, literally down the road for about 5 minutes. And at one point on that walk, you'll be like, where am I? There's no one here. I don't see anyone. What's going on?
That's right.
And then all of a sudden you'll just come over a little hill and boom, taxis, vendors, tour people galore. They're all there waiting. So there's it's one of those places where there's some rules.
And that's where you'll see someone will have a sign that'll say, they'll be holding up a sign saying Little French Cay.
Yeah.
So, and they'll have their shirts, that say Little French Cay here as well. So, and that's where you're going to go. And then they will take you by cab to pick up that boat.
So when we booked it, it was just the three of us, Sharon, myself, and Matthew, but we were in a like a bus type of deal with a large group. And what was kind of cool about it is, as we walked in, I guess the group had a group discount. So as we walked in and went to pay, and they said, "Are you with the group?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we're with the group." And I think we saved like $10 a person. So that was kind of cool too.
Yeah. So if you do have several people going, or you have like a Facebook group with a lot of people going, let them know you're in a group, because they do give group discounts as well. Yes.
So the transportation took us from the port to the spot. Then we took just a quick little 5-minute boat ride across some easy water and landed at Little French Cay. And when we got there, it was like, whoa, it was awesome.
I mean, it goes around. There's a whole area where you could they have like an animal rescue center where you can go around and you can see like lions, monkeys. I don't even remember.
Oh yeah,
chickens,
goats, chickens. I mean,
kinds of things
everything.
There.
Yes.
And then now for the last time we were there, the Jaguar was gone for a short time, but from what I hear, he's back. But there's
Jaguar.
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 Look at that.
Jaguar.
I think his name is Simba.
Jaguar.
Anyways, he's in the water, and you can actually go in the water and do I think it's maybe part of one of the packages that you sign up for. You can actually
interacting with the Jaguar in the water.
Yeah. You can interact with him.
I'm not down with that.
Him, and that looks fun.
I'll take a picture of that from afar, but it's nice to know that's always an option.
But there's many packages to choose from. You can just choose the package where you get the transportation over there, you hang out there for the day and nothing included. You can get other packages that include a meal and a couple drinks. You can get some that they have a little spa thing up these stairs you can walk to. And you can get massages, things like that. You can get snorkeling, scuba, zip lining. Like
And we were one of the first people to get on the island for the day, and we had our pick of the litter as to where to go. And we found some seats near a little cove of just still water. And what was nice was there was like a jetty, and on the other side is the ocean, so the water was a little rougher, and the water would crash over the jetty and then come into the calm water of our little bay or cove. So it was gorgeous. They had little kayaks there and stuff like that.
Kayaks were great. You can just paddle around in the kayaks and the water is just calm. They have like on the one side they have like a bar set up over on the other side, and that's where you can do the little zip line thing where you hang on the thing and jump into the water. And,
So bar restaurant, they'll come serve you in your seats so you don't have to move. So I can put my fat butt down and get food and drinks and not have to go anywhere for it.
Right.
So amazing service, beautiful environment.
Yep. And you know what? They actually have like a brick, was it brick stone or brick something? Anyways, they have a pizza there
they have
too.
pizza.
They have a little pizza place.
Yes.
That is really cool.
So in case you have a child that only likes to eat pizza on a cruise like we do, that can come in handy as well. And actually, one thing that was kind of neat was as we were leaving the last time, and I think there was a guy with a monkey that we were playing with, so that was cool. As we were leaving last time, a guy came in on a boat, and it turned out to be the guy that actually owns Little French Key. Like there's one guy that owns the island, and so we were talking to this guy, and he started telling us that he was the owner, and we're like, really? And afterwards, we're like, was that really the owner, or just some guy making it up?
He was telling us the story how he moved there with his wife, and they had 2 boys.
Yeah, and then we researched it when we got back, and we saw the pictures, and we're like, oh my God, it was that guy.
Yeah, so we had a picture taken with the owner. That was nice.
That was cool.
So, but that was cool.
All right, so Little French Key, easy to get to.
Little French Key is a great family place to go. Great place to take the kids. There's areas with really calm waters, and great place for the whole family, and it is paradise.
Yes.
All right, so that was a few of our favorite places to go. Hope you enjoyed them. And
and thanks for the questions about topics and things. So let us know if there's anything else you want to talk about, hear about, get our opinion of, and we're always happy to share that and talk about our experience. We love it.
And don't be afraid to venture out a little bit. Try something new. Don't always just go to the closest place to the cruise port.
Don't follow the masses when you get off of that ship. I mean, go out and follow your, take your own path and find someplace new and someplace different to go to.
You'll find you have a much better time.
Oh yeah, you find those little gems out there.
Yeah, and just do your research. Do your research and know what's safe. There are safe and there are not so safe places to go. You just need to do your research where you feel comfortable, and and sometimes maybe first cruisers tend to take excursions through the cruise lines, but then once you've
once you're comfortable with the process and how everything works.
Once you've done your first cruise, you're on your second cruise maybe or something, venture out a little bit, and you'll start to feel more comfortable with doing some of those things.
And you'll find out and look for the amenities that you want. If you want to, if you don't, hey, for us, we like beach chairs and umbrellas, and other people just like to grab a towel and find a stretch of sand and lay down on that or whatever. But research, and you'll make out okay.
Yep, research. All right, so there you go.
That's it.
That's it.
Boom.
For the beaches.
All right. So from Sharon and myself, there's one thing left to say. Happy cruising.